Hi, I'm Jake Tucker from Esports Pro, and we're coming to you live from Cologne. So, today we got a chance to get our hands on the upcoming content coming to Rainbow Six Siege with the forthcoming Blood Orchid update, and we played with 3 new operators. So that's the new attacker Ling, defenders Lesion and Ela, and that's in a bomb defusal match on the new map Theme Park. Now you can see the footage playing out now while I talk, and now we're just going to offer you some of the direct thoughts on the operators. Now it's interesting. I think all of the new operators are themed around kind of traps and gadgetry. And while the game that you're seeing now is my first, I also got to play them a little bit more in a queue jump. So I didn't just play them in a 4 versus 4. Now, let's start with Ela, who you should see on screen now. Now, Ela is the Polish Grom operator. She's a defender, and she's a 3-speed 1-armor operator. Now, she's got a Scorpion Evo SMG, which is a complete beast. First time I fired it, I got a double kill. And she's also got the silent 612 shotgun. Now, I mean, what Ela does primarily is she runs around the place flanking. Now, her weapons are very, very powerful up close. But she also has a gadget, which are concussion mines. So these are mines that are non-lethal, and they can be hidden around the place, tossed at walls and floors. And what they do is they leave like a little stick out of them with a glowing dart on it. So if you see that, you can avoid it. But if not, it'll detonate, and then there's an explosion that, again, doesn't do any damage, but it will slow them down. And it also messes with their view in a similar way to Echo's drone back from the Japanese update. And that means that you can actually throw these mines around the place to cover your flanks, you know? So as you are charging in on people, you can cover all your flanks with this mine, and then if someone kind of tries to outflank you, or they rotate to defend against your flank, you could make it much easier for yourself to clean up. And I think this is a really powerful thing, because at least for Pro League, she's going to be played anyway, because she's a 3-1 operator, so she's 3-speed 1-armor, and they see a lot of play professionally. But it also means that she can actually defend herself while she's out roaming. So I see her being played as a slayer, so that basically means she'll be running around the place killing as many people as possible. And I feel like she, at least, was the one that immediately clicked for me. Now, Ling, the new attacker, is 2-speed, 2-armor, and she's an operator. She has a lot of firepower, so she brings the T95 LSW, so that's a light machine gun, and it's quite controllable because it's a bullpup, and that means it's got manageable recoil, and it's got masses of ammo, so you can use this to literally shred walls. Now, she's actually the only attacker added to the party with this, and she also has the 612 shotgun, which every operator has, although hers is not silenced. And I mean, both of her weapons are very loud, but that doesn't make any difference, because her gadget is a trio of devices called the Candela devices. Now, a Candela is a ball filled with flashbangs, basically, and you can use it to blind everyone around you. And Ling's immune to her own flashbangs, but they work in an interesting way, because you can throw them as a grenade, and you can also put them on a wall like fuse, and you can blast through in the same way that fuse's cluster charges go off, blinding everyone in the room. But the longer that you hold the button when you deploy the device is the fuse, so you can throw a grenade really closely at someone and you can blind them instantly, or you can throw it and hold it down for a longer fuse, so you can bowl it through a drone hole, or throw it through a window, or you could time it so that just as you assault the room, everyone in it gets blinded. I think it'll take a little bit of work for people to work out the exact optimal way to use her, but I also think that she has some of the most powerful potential. I mean, when pro players get hold of her, there's a chance that they could quickly work out how to get her flash to go off exactly as they enter a room, and it's much easier to shoot a room full of blind people. Now, this is interesting because she could prove very, very popular in a lot of Rainbow Six Siege's hostage situations, because in a hostage, fuse is always popular because they're reinforced in a room. The problem is that if you use fuse on the actual hostage room, you'll kill the hostage, whereas in this case, because it's entirely not damaging, there's more of an option there. Now, the third operator is Lesion. Now, Lesion has, he's got the 612 SD. You should be familiar with that by now. Everyone's got that, everyone has that shotgun. And he's also a 2-2 operator, but he has a T5 SMG, which honestly felt a lot weaker than Ela's Scorpion Evo. And I think that's because Legion's gadget is very powerful. Lesion has these things called goo mines, and they're basically cloaked caltrops. You can toss them on the floor, and they're invisible pretty much unless you've bought IQ, which is another buff for IQ. Players that step on the goo mine, they are unable to run, and they're stricken with motion altering effects, and that basically means like you start tilting again like Echo's drone, you can't run, and also you get a damage over time effect. So you can actually stop all of these effects, but you have to pull the caltrop out yourself, and that means that you need to obey an on-screen button prompt. So what you do is you hold down F and you pull it out of yourself, but while you're doing that, your gun is down, you cannot defend yourself, and you can't run off anywhere safe to do it because you can't run. So while players can push on with those disorientating effects, I think in reality, I'm losing my voice, but we can blame this on Gamescom, right? I think in reality, you're going to need to immediately take care of this issue. Now, effects that disorientate players are really powerful in Siege because a lot of the battles, especially as we get to a higher tier level of play, they're won by whoever lands the first headshot or whoever can put a burst accurately into the other player. Now, when you mess with someone's vision and also disable their ability to run, the goo mines are really punishing. So if you're ill-prepared, if you can't put down proper covering fire, or if you catch the attacker's roamer with the goo mine, then they're weak and you can take them out. I mean, you've seen footage now. This is the new map, Theme Park. Now, it has the same problem as many of Rainbow Six Siege's new maps, is it's too complicated to learn up front, so a press preview is very difficult. Some general thoughts is that the map wasn't that interesting. There are occasional bits of like fairground scenery and paraphernalia, but it feels like a fight in a warehouse. It's a series of small rooms, they're tied together with destructible surfaces, and I think with some familiarity the structure will start to reveal itself. I mean, I had a lot of issue with Border when it first came out because it was quite a confusing 2-level map, but now I understand the full thing, and I feel like because Siege's maps are quite complex and they tend to be kind of nested because of the destructibility, it's something that needs a lot of playtime. But at least for now, I feel like fights in this map are going to be close ranged and dirty, so it's going to work really well for someone like Ela's flanking techniques, but I would also expect people like Caveira to dominate. Now, Caveira can run around the place quite quickly, and I think she'll be able to get interrogates and pick teams apart with guerrilla tactics. And so I feel like you'll see a lot of people running around up close. And those are our thoughts. So thanks for watching. I guess you could like and subscribe, but just enjoy our Gamescom coverage. Cheers.